Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a look at these rather special coaches. They are from Danish manufacturer Hobbytrade, and as the time of recording this video, they can actually celebrate their 25th anniversary. The versions that I have here are not quite that old. They're from the second edition, which came out around 2005, but still not a new model. But first, a few words on the prototypes. They were built between 1927 and 1930, and as you will have undoubtedly already noticed, they have these characteristically pointed ends, which was all the fashion in European railway designs at the time, but it faded out just as quickly. So perhaps the intended aerodynamic effect didn't actually come through. In any case, it makes them quite unique in appearance, and I must admit I kind of like this funky 1920s design. 55 were built originally as third-class coaches. Later they were reclassed as common class and then back to second class. In the 1950s, which is of course the area that I'm modeling, you could still see them in large express trains, but more and more they would serve on branch lines and smaller passenger trains. So here we are, the two variants of the car. One is in the classic DSB maroon color, and this one in what was actually the original teak finish. It's supposed to look like that. It doesn't really, so I'm trying to give it a little more life, like something like this, which is a previous project of mine. So we'll start with hopefully bringing a little life into this one. So we start out with taking the model apart, and that is one of the areas where you can really tell this is an old school construction. A couple arm screws is what holds the roof in place on top of the undercarriage and the body. Here you can see how the roof comes off, and inside we have the 9 nice compartments. Again, this is an old construction, so the whole interior comes out in one piece. Okay, so now the weathering can begin. Teak wood becomes grayish when it gets old and worn. So I started out with a layer of assorted grey colors. I ended up using I think 3 different shades of grey here, and at this stage it looks completely awful, right? But stay tuned. Next point on the agenda is to add some brown nuances, going from this sandy golden, almost yellowish color to something more light brown, even orange. And again, I apply the colors liberally over the body. And slowly, hopefully you can start to see the end effect coming through. So to bind it all together, I added this reddish brownish shade. After that, a bit of dark grey wash for the harmonica here. And of course I had to do something about the interior as well. It looks quite plasticky and not natural from the outside. Time to get some passengers these are just the usual no name, really cheap figures that you can buy on the internet. I only added a few colors to make them look a little less horrible, a little more, you know, following a 1950s paint scheme or color scheme. After having looked at the car for some time, I found that I needed to darken the whole thing a bit. So I gave it a coat of dark grey wash, especially the crevices. And here you can see the final result, or the result so far, in comparison to the maroon model. And of course, saying A, you also have to say B, and the maroon model would have to at least get a wash of dark grey here to make it a little more realistic. And finally I sealed the whole thing up with some satin varnish. I think that's the best compromise, because if you give it a glass coat, it looks too new and too fresh, and matte would be well, simply too sad. Okay, let's have a look at what we can do about the roof here. As you can see, there's a difference in color here, and on this one as well, so that seems to be something typical. So I think I'll do that on at least one of these roofs. Now, since I want it to look like a repair job, I first add some sod to the roof here, and after that I mark out where the repair work has been done using some Tamiya masking tape here. Then a neutral light sea grey nuance as the renewed part of the roof is. You can see from the old pictures the repaired area were considerably lighter than the rest of the roof, so that's what I'm going for here. Now, before I add the roof back on the models, I give the undercarriage a quick layer of dirt or dust. That goes for both models, of course. And although Airbrush is a really quick and efficient way of doing it, I think adding some weathering powder as well add considerably to the realism. And of course a bit of grease and oil on the buffers. Time to put it all together. Here we have the two models, and we're going to put the roof back on. Here it goes, and of course the model goes back together again, exactly as when they were taken apart. Final test, the wheels are still running, and here we are, the project is finished. I think it added some life to the especially the teak model. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to the channel and give the video a like if you are so inclined. Help the channel grow. I will now leave you, as usual, with a few more pictures and some nice music. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.